Hello everyone, today we're going to be explaining some maths حق الفاينل and I'll try explaining everything. I think I'll focus a bit more on the difficult topics. But yeah, we're going to start with module 6, lesson 2 and yeah. Okay, so for the first question it's asking for 3 consecutive homework assignments, each assignment had one more question يعني شو صار؟ Okay. One more question than the previous assignment. With the total number of questions on these assignments is greater than 51. Write an inequality to represent this situation, where Q is the number of questions on the first assignment. Yani first is equal to Q. Or second is equal to Q plus 1. Or the third is equal to Q plus 1 plus 1. Yani Q plus 2. Okay? So, and all of these, if you add them, it's greater than 51. So to make an inequality out of this, نسوي Q plus Q plus 1 plus Q plus 2, which is greater than 51. And then we get, and combining all of them, we get 3Q plus 3 is greater than 51. And that's the answer for part A. And now to solve the inequality, we subtract 3 on both sides, and we get 3Q is greater than 48, and dividing both sides by 3, we get Q is greater than 16. And this is the answer for part B. Now, part C is asking what is the minimum number of questions that could have been on the third assignment. And then, so now we know in Q is greater than 16, yani 17 and above. Okay, so the minimum one is 17. But for the third assignment, yani Q plus 2, which is 17 plus 2, which is 19. And that's it. Now for question number 2, I'm gonna read it. For an online bookstore, customers qualify for free shipping if they spend at least, yani greater than or equal to 35. Nancy has already selected one book with a price of 12. Yani, it's constant. Okay? And she plans to purchase some books that cost $8 each. Write an inequality to represent this situation where n is the number of $8 books purchased. Yani, بيكون 8n. Okay? So very simply, it's just 12 plus 8n is greater than or equal to 35. And that's our inequality. Now to solve the inequality, we just subtract 12 from both sides and we get 8n is greater than or equal to 20. Come. ليش عدلكت؟ 23, okay? And we get n is greater than or equal to 23 over 8, which is, I think, n is greater than or equal to 2.875. Okay? Now, this is the confusing part where some of you might get confused. You cannot buy 2.8 books. You either buy 2 books or 3 books. And if you buy 2 books, then you don't pass the minimum of 35, which is why Nancy has to buy 3 books, and that's our answer. Okay, so now for question 3, it says the price per movie ticket is $9.25, but she also has to spend $20 to spend at the concession stand, and I think this is the constant. Okay, and she does not want to spend more than $115 total. يعني كلها has to be less than or equal to 115. Write an inequality to represent the situation where M is the number of movie tickets purchased. إنزين ف علقت again. Okay, so 9.25 m plus 20 is less than or equal to 115. And then we get 9.25 m is less than or equal to 115 minus 20 is 95. And then we get m is less than or equal to 95 over 9.25. Oops. 9.25 is, I think, oh yeah, less than or equal to 10.27. And okay, so I solved part A and B. But to get the maximum number of movie tickets she can buy, because it's asking for the maximum, and she doesn't want to spend more than 115. So if she spends 11, then she's spending more than 115, which is why she has to only get 10. Okay, so for these ones, they're kind of different, but there's a lot of them. But I think I'm just gonna solve these two. The rest are quite similar, actually. Okay, so question 5 says 6 times a number, yani 6x, plus 17 is less than negative 13. So less than negative 13. Now to solve the inequality, we just subtract 17 on both sides and we get 6x is less than negative, I'm really bad at this, negative 30. And then we just get x is less than negative 5 because we divided 30 by 6. And this is our answer. And it says graph the solution on a number line. I don't know how to do that. I actually do it. We just draw a number line. Sorry, this is kind of sloppy. But so now you have like a lot of numbers, you know. And negative 5, it's just pointing that way. Yep. Question 6. So 46 is less than or equal to, the difference, yani minus, 10 times a number, yani 10x, and 4, yani 10x minus 4. So 46 is less than or equal to 10x minus 4. If we want to flip it around, we can make it 10x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 46. And then we can do 10x, and we add 4 to both sides. We get 10x is greater than or equal to 50, or x is greater than or equal to 5, because we divided both sides by 10. Now on a number line, it would look like this, and sorry for it being really sloppy, that's on a 5, and like it points that way, because it's greater than. That's not like it starts from 5, because equal to. I don't know how you guys do it. Okay. For extra practice, I'm gonna solve all of these. Inshallah, we'll get good at them by the end. So let's start with 15. So it says 3a plus 9 is greater than 5a minus 3. We distribute the 5 like this, like we multiply 5 by a, and we get 5a is 5 multiply negative 3 is negative 15. And the left side stays the same, so 3a plus 9 is greater than 5a minus 15. This is quite simple. You subtract 5 on both sides and minus 5, and we get 5a, and it becomes minus 2a plus 9 is greater than negative 15. And then we take the 9 to the other side, we subtract 9, and we get minus 2a is greater than negative 24. When we divide by negative numbers, the sign changes. So instead of greater than, it becomes less than. So a is less than negative 24 divided by negative 2, which is 12. And this is our answer. A is less than 12. For 16, we're gonna distribute again. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. And negative 5 times negative b, when you multiply two negative numbers, you get a positive number. So plus 5b is less than or equal to. And then 7 times b is just 7b. And then 7 times 2 is 14, so plus 14. Now we move everything around. Moving 7 to the other side, we subtract, so we get negative 2b, because 5 minus 7 is minus 2, and then less than or equal to. And then we move the 10 to this side, and we add it, so it's 14 plus 10, which is 24. Dividing both sides by negative 2, we get b, and then because we're dividing by a negative number, the sign changes and becomes greater than or equal to 24 divided by negative 2, which is negative 12. That's it. For question 17, we're going to distribute again. We got 4 multiplied by c, which is 4c. And then 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. So 4c minus 20 is greater than or equal to, and then we distribute again. 4 times c, 4c. And then 4 times 1 is 4. And then minus 24. And then we got, if we do this, we get 4c minus 20. And this is interesting because 4c minus 20 is greater than or equal to 4c minus 20. This means the solution is all real numbers. Yani, if you move the 4c to this side, you get negative 20 is greater than or equal to negative 20. On the number line, it looks like this. This is a number line, and like you have numbers. The answer just looks like this. Like, it's every single number. That's the answer. For question 18, this is quite simple. It's 5d plus, and then 2 times d is 2d, and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, is greater than 36. Okay? 5d plus 2d is 7d, and 36 plus 6, had the greater than, okay? 36 plus 6 is 42, and then d is greater than 42 divided by 7, which is 6. 6, 7. Okay. For question 19, and so 3 plus t, that stays the same, is greater than or equal to, and then we distribute. 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times negative t is negative 3t. And then minus 21. Okay. Actually, we're gonna do, we're gonna like simplify it. Minus 3t, and then 12 minus 21 is negative 9. So 3 plus t is greater than or equal to negative 3t, negative 3t minus 9. Sorry. Okay. If we take this to the other side, we do plus 3t. So we got 3 plus 4t is greater than or equal to negative 9. And then we take the 3 to the other side, we subtract. 4t is greater than or equal to negative 9 minus 3, which is minus 12. And then we divide both sides by 4, and we get t is greater than or equal to negative 3. Yep. Last question, we're going to do this simply. 9f minus, and then we distribute. Negative 2 times 3f is minus 6f. And then minus 2 times 5 is minus 10. Is less than or equal to 8. Yeah. For simplifying this, we get 3f minus 10 is less than or equal to 8. And then we take the 10 to the other side, and we get 3f is less than or equal to 8 plus 10, 18. And f is less than or equal to 18 divided by 3 is 6. On the number line, these would look like this. Oh, oops. On the number line, it would look like this. And it starts at 6, and the circle is full, like it's a full hole, and then it goes to the left because it's less than. For this one, it goes like this. It starts at 6, but it's a empty hole because it's just greater than, and it goes this way. It starts at 6, but this one starts at 6. For this one, oops, this is sloppy. It starts at -3, full hole, and then greater, and then greater than. So it goes this way. Yep.